And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
That's right. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Brandon is out today. My name is James DeJerome. I'm one of the producers here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I've been with Brandon about 4 years now. Of course, we have a number of producers. Jonathan Torres does the television side, and Jose's back there on the buttons for our radio audience, because the Consumer Quarterback Show is on multiple platforms. We are a radio show, and we want to thank all our listeners at AM 860 every day at 4 p.m., or if you catch our Sunday morning broadcast on 102.5 FM. Certainly, we're available for any smart TV owners who want to see the show. You can go to Binge Networks and search for the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our YouTube channel is getting a lot of traffic lately. Tons of videos. You can meet our expert contributors, check out our sponsors, watch the show. Lots going on the YouTube channel. Search Brandon Rhymes, Platinum MVP Team, and the Consumer Quarterback Show on YouTube. And we've got a number of great videos and different things posted for you up there. Of course, a sponsor, one of our great sponsors, is the Bilmar Beach Resort. This is a local hotel right here in Tampa Bay. Not a cookie-cutter hotel like a chain that you've stayed in before where they kind of seem the same. This has about 80% of the rooms face the Gulf of Mexico. The general manager, Clyde Smith, he comes on our show all the time, talks about the unique things they have going on down there, Sloppy Joe's and all the events on the beach. Really beautiful beach. So if you're looking to get out there to the beach, get in touch with Clyde Smith. He's the GM of the Bilmar Beach Resort. Again, the official hotel sponsor of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And as I mentioned earlier, Brandon owns the Platinum MVP Team. He is a Keller Williams agent. Even in this time of real estate scarcity in our market, we have some opportunities for you. Jonathan Torres is going to throw up a few on the screen, and we're going to tell you all about them. Here's one in Dunedin. 141 Highland Avenue, about 1,000 square foot building. So this has new kitchen appliances and countertops, new roof and gutters. It's right near downtown Dunedin. It's a fully renovated home. It's a 3-1, about 1,000 square feet, as I mentioned. If you want to get into the Dunedin area, and this is real close to the Blue Jays ballpark down there, 141 Highland Ave in Dunedin. Get in touch with Brandon Rhymes and the Platinum MVP Team. Don't leave money on the table. Let's look at another opportunity, Jonathan. Here's one in Tampa, 3008 North Nebraska Avenue, about 3,600 square feet. This building is located in Seminole Heights. It's a mixed-use building opportunity, so 6 rooms, 3 bathrooms, and again, close to I-4 and 75, downtown in the Riverwalk. A commercial or residential opportunity, a mixed use, 3008 North Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. Don't leave money on the table, as Brandon always says. Get in touch with the Platinum MVP Team. And when you're looking to get into housing and real estate and you want to improve the look of your house, nothing is better than your kitchen and bath renovation. And in our Salem Media Group studios right now, Justin Caballero, Revive Kitchen and Bath. What's going on, Justin?
Not too much, man. Just staying super busy, and love coming on the show, so I appreciate you guys having me back.
I'm so excited because I've got all these ideas about kitchen and bath. Actually, my wife does. I don't want to do all the stuff myself, so I'm letting you handle all this. Now,
that's what we're here for.
Everybody out there is worried about the time it takes to get supplies. You know, when we first mentioned, again, she mentioned she wants to do a kitchen. I started calling cabinet companies. They're saying 12, 18 months or something like that for custom cabinetry. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, for fully custom built from scratch, you're looking at well over a year for most cabinet shops. They're just so backed up, and there's really just not enough in Tampa to supply all the current demand, especially since the coronavirus. For the past handful of years, it's been a super hot market, as you know, in real estate and in renovations, but especially since, really 2020, it's almost doubled. So cabinet shops are super backed up. Most contractors are super backed up. But we actually have really good relationships that we've built with our different suppliers. So our cabinets, we have a lot of different semi-custom cabinets in stock, all wood cabinets, lifetime warranty on the cabinets. So they're really beautiful cabinets. I mean, we're putting these in $1 million homes, and they're very high quality. So we have pretty much every color that you want in stock. Most people like the white, the grays. We have a variety of different brown and wood, natural wood colors. Really the only ones that can get a little tricky if you're going for like a coastal green or something like that. Right. Sometimes that's a special order 2 to 3 weeks out, but still 2 to 3 weeks is a lot better than 2 to 3 months or 2 to 3 years, of course.
Absolutely. Now, we talk a lot about local business on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're trying to get folks to patronize local business owners. And Justin, this is a family business.
Yes. Yep. My dad's been remodeling homes since he was 15 years old, where he actually was doing the work with his older brothers, flipping homes, where we're originally from in Louisiana. New Orleans area. But my dad's been here about 12 years. I've been here about 6. And ever since I moved here, we've been remodeling homes together in the Tampa Bay area, and it's been a blast.
Well, one of the best things about dealing with somebody local and somebody, especially in the family business, they have relationships they've built up over time. So as he's mentioning, trying to get products, it could be cabinetry, as we mentioned. What about tile?
Yeah, tile is obviously one of the trickiest as far as your selections. So we have really good relationships with ProSource as well as Floor & Decor. We have account managers and designers that work for us there, specifically on our accounts, where we're going to send over our anytime you want flooring or backsplash or shower floor, shower wall, bathroom floor. We send all of our clients over to our designers at those different suppliers. We really like ProSource. They have a beautiful 10, 20,000 square foot showroom in Hillsborough and in Pinellas County. So we have great designers over there that take really good care of our clients. And we also have in-house designers that work with our clients as well to really come up with the custom designs that they're looking for.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's so many options. If you wanted, tell me if this is the typical flow. So your girlfriend or wife starts to look. She starts to get an idea, or she goes to a place and visits she loves. She wants to. So now we're searching for a particular product. How is that? What do you steer them to? Is there an order of operations? Do we first figure out the tile, or do we figure out what they want to do overall? How do you advise the homeowner when they're coming up to this project?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first we go out there for in-home consultation. So really the first thing to do, that's the best thing to do, is to call us up. We'll come out for a free in-home consultation.
Because the possibilities, there's a lot of them, but there's also some things that you simply can't do. I see people that we want a chandelier, or we want to move this or that. And sometimes there just simply can't be done.
Well, we can do pretty much everything, but it's just going to cost a lot more some of the time. So we say, all right, what do you want to do? Do you have inspiration photos? We look at that, and then we go over the functionality and the technical details of what that involves. Hey, you need to move this plumbing, this electrical. And sometimes people will say, well, hey, I want this full remodel, and this is my budget. Well, then we can arrange the scope of work to fit within your budget, right? And still do a beautiful remodel. Or if you're a little bit more lenient on your budget and you really want to move some things around, that's when our in-house designer is really good. Her name's Jessica. She can come in and she's a floor plan expert. So she can mix and match. We're going to move the plumbing over here for your new tub.
You can do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I never thought of that. So a sink, dishwasher, something that requires a plumbing, you can move that?
Yeah, I'm a licensed plumber as well as a licensed building contractor.
No kidding. So what are some of the bigger moves you've seen done in a kitchen?
As far as in a kitchen, knocking down walls, and if there's different appliances on that wall, whether you're moving the sink, the fridge, any of the appliances, plumbing or electrical.
Wow.
Yeah. So we probably have 12 to 15 kitchens right now where we're opening up the walls just in Tampa Bay area.
That's everyone loves when it starts with the renovation. It starts in the kitchen, doesn't it?
Yeah, kitchen's really, they say that's the heart of the home. As far as a ROI perspective, it's the master bath and the kitchen. And that's really what I specialize in. Coming from a real estate investment background, I know that those are the two areas that, number one, people are spending the most time in, and therefore you get the biggest ROI on your money when you invest in those areas. So, we do a lot of kitchens, about 60% kitchens, 40% master bathrooms as far as the makeup of our projects, but we love doing both and we're great at both of them.
I love it when you guys finish doing a new, it's so nice and you get this idea that it's a whole new house almost once the kitchen's done. I wonder if there are any new appliances, not just that people want the air fryer built into the wall or whatever it is. What are some of the cool designs or something you've seen recently as far as, something maybe a little different than most people are doing?
Yeah, so it's been really popular for people to, instead of having the microwave over the oven, or the stovetop, I should say, they'll put the hood, like a range hood over, and then instead of having the microwave there, they'll put the microwave actually, instead of over the stove or on the island, they'll put it in the island under the stone.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm sure there's tons
basically
of
built into the cabinetry.
Possibilities there that you don't consider because you're so used to the traditional layout when you walk into somebody's kitchen.
Right. Yeah, and that's what our designers are here for, right? So we give 3D renderings of exactly what your kitchen or bathroom is going to look like, and that really helps people when they're making a large investment. They want to be able to see what their investment's going to look like before we actually demo everything.
Tell me, what's popular in the backsplash? These glass tile? I see a lot of glass tile now.
Yeah, there's a lot of glass. That's it's a little bit more expensive, but typically when you're investing in a backsplash, you only have 100, maybe 200 square feet of space that you're putting the backsplash on. So it's not uncommon to see people spend $10 to $20 a square foot on a nice mosaic or glass tile backsplash.
How about the popularity of concrete in the counters? I've seen Everyone was granite for a long time, marble. Any new ideas or anything you've seen?
We've had a few clients ask about the concrete in the counters. We haven't done any this year. Really, the most popular stone that we've seen is people go into quartz, which is actually a man-made, engineered product. It's 95 to 97% of the stone actually quartz, and then they pump resins and different pigments into it. And the reason why quartz has become so popular, it used to be way more expensive than granite. However, it's really not anymore. Over the past 5-10 years, the manufacturing has really improved and driven down the cost of manufacturing the quartz. But it's great because, number one, you can get a lot of different colors, a lot of different color variations, and there's also no upkeep. So with granite, you're supposed to seal it every 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
However, with quartz, because they pump this resin into it, it's really stain resistant, and it's not a porous stone, right? So it's more stain resistant, more water resistant than your granites.
What are some of the, when you mentioned the granite and care for it, it put my mind on tile. Is there something out there that folks should do to help to preserve the life or extend the life of their tile floors?
Well, really, when we are installing tile, we're sealing the grout. So if you have a home where you have tile installed 70s, 80s, 90s, they used to not seal the grout. So you see bath fitters and West Shore Homes and a lot of these great companies and really pushing hard to sell these drop-in tubs. And their main thing is, hey, it's not difficult to clean. And that's a good and easy sell for them because they might have, in these older homes, you have mold on the grout. However, we seal the grout whenever we do our install. So really, it's mold resistant. It's not going to be too difficult to keep it clean if it's installed correctly.
Gotcha. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the bathroom. There's lots of ideas, lots of options in there, and Justin does this all over the place. I've got a feel-good story for you, as we do every day on the Consumer Quarterback Show, about an 11-year-old. His name is Wyatt Deaton. What you need to know about him is that he's going to participate in this year's Swim Across America to raise money for cancer research, and he's done this. This is an open water swim. I'm going to tell you all about it because it's right here in the Bay. 11-year-old Wyatt Deaton coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is a great resource for all the fans of the show. You can meet our expert contributors as well as our sponsors, just like Chad Irrigation. I don't know if you've ever considered the fact that you may be able to have a well or another source for your landscaping water. Chad Irrigation can come out, not only do they do sprinklers and, of course, maintenance for your landscaping, but they can give you a new water source. You know, Brandon is taking advantage of nearby water. He's got a well, or he manages to pull water out of a lake. So Chad Irrigation really can save you some money and really create some unique designs for your landscaping. Get in touch with Chad Irrigation, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show, for all your landscaping needs. And then we've got some properties, because Brandon owns the Platinum MVP team, and he's a realtor right here in the Tampa Bay area. We've got some real competition out there, but we still have some opportunities for you. Jonathan's going to put up one for you now in Dade City. So if you say you're a restaurant guy, we've got an established restaurant in downtown Dade City at 141217 7th Street. There's even an apartment in this restaurant, so you get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment with it. The sale of this property includes furniture and equipment. So if you're an entrepreneurial investor and you're looking to get into the restaurant business in Dade City, get in touch with Brandon, 14121 7th, right there in Dade City. What else you got, John? Let's see if we got any other opportunities for you. Here's one in Newport Richey at 5014 Pompano Drive. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage. This is a waterfront home with bay access. Right on a deep canal, too. Updated kitchen, covered porch, circular driveway. This is a private community with a beach, clubhouse and boat ramps. This is a really great spot, especially if you're a fisherman and you want to get into the Newport Richey area. Get in touch with Brandon, 5014 Pompano Drive in Newport Richey. Really beautiful property. And again, don't leave money on the table. Get in touch with Brandon for all your real estate needs. Before the break, we were visiting with Justin Caballero, Revive Kitchen and Bath. We talked a lot about kitchen and some of the things you can do. How about bathroom now? I know this is a big one too, especially for the ladies. They love having the bathroom redesigned. It's not just the tile, the vanity. They want to upgrade the vanity, maybe the double sink. You see that a lot. What else have you seen in terms of designs?
Yeah, a lot of times people want to expand their showers as well. That's one of the biggest requests. A lot of times, a standard shower is 3x5 if you rip out a tub and then put a shower there. Or even sometimes 3x4 if it's just a standing shower. A lot of times people want to expand their showers, add the jetted shower system, or what's really popular is the overhead shower system.
Now, you mentioned you're a plumber. If you come from a place where, again, my house is 50 years old. Okay, so North Tampa, 50-year-old home. The water pressure is okay, but I've been talking. She wants to go to this elaborate shower design. You know what I mean? It almost has jets in the wall, it looks like, or they're coming out besides just the shower head.
Yes, so a lot of people are going towards that, but yes, you definitely want to make sure that your water pressure can handle those systems. So you really want to look at the specs of the systems, see how much water pressure you need, and sometimes you might need to do some further upgrades rather than just throwing that shower system in.
So if you got one of these houses like I do, and it's got a traditional tub shower set up in the bathroom, and we want to go to a stall shower, what's the process? We rip out that tub and put a pan in there? How does that work?
Exactly. So you rip out the tub, and that's just what we call a tub to shower conversion. So essentially, you take out the tub and you move the drain, you center it in the middle, and then you create a new concrete shower pan that slopes properly to drain into the wherever you want the drain. A lot of people just want it in the middle. Sometimes they want it on the side for a seamless entry shower with a drain on the side. Okay, so still, again, one of those deals where there's tons of options out there. So get in touch with Justin and look at, mention your designer again? Her name's Jessica. Jessica. Get in touch with Jessica and take a look at what's out there, because, again, not just tile choices. How about in the vanity itself? Is that laminate? What do you see in the popular designs for vanity? Yeah, so really there's two different options. You either have the custom cabinet option or you have the freestanding or drop-in vanity option. So I'd say 8 to 9 out of 10 people typically just go with the freestanding or drop-in. And what that basically is just anything from Home Depot, Lowe's, Build.com, Wayfair. There's thousands of different drop-in vanity selections. Okay. And that comes with the vanity cabinet, so the wood cabinetry, and then typically a stone on top of it with a sink. But then you need to get your faucets separately. So a lot of times people will get, a black faucet to match their black shower system or vice versa. Or you can go the custom cabinetry route, same quality of cabinets that we install in our kitchens, all wood cabinets, lifetime warranty, and then you pick out whatever slab of stone you want, whether that's quartz or granite. Typically is what the two stones that people are choosing. We actually pick out your slab, we fabricate it and install it to the size of your custom cabinetry, and then we'll also put in your faucets on top of that. Are you finding folks going for the undermount sink rather than the traditional drop-in? Yeah, most people do. Well, undermount is more traditional rather than the on top of the stone. So if you're going to do on top of the stone, typically that's going to be more of a custom option. However, there are freestanding or drop-in vanities that do have the sinks that sit on top of the stone as well. What about things like cooling, exhaust fans? Have you ever had to redo somebody? I had a condo with a fan, and I went up there one day to look, and it was just a fan. It went nowhere. Obviously, the contractor just stuck it up there to make me think there was exhaust. Self-circulating. Yeah. So we actually run to it quite a bit, usually in smaller bathrooms where there's no exhaust out. Right. And that could be a problem, especially if you don't have a window or if you don't feel like, cracking the window open to, get all of the moisture out. So yeah, typically when we are exhausting out, there's two options. You can go through the roof, or more economical option is just to go through the soffit if you do have like a soffit overhang on the side of your home.
I gotcha. All right. Now, what else goes on as far as the water heater? Have you ever had to upgrade water heater because the bathroom reno got so big, or they're using more hot water or anything like that?
Yeah, we certainly have. Not a ton, but we certainly do run into that. Probably 1 out of every 10 bathroom remodels that we do.
Have you rated the electric water heater? I'm considering going to that kind of style. Have you seen that function?
Yeah, those work fine, and they're also smaller a lot of the times as well.
So as far as fitting them into a tight space?
Yep.
All right, so a lot of things to consider. I imagine you guys run into spacing issues a lot because there needs to be a certain amount of distance between, say, the toilet and the vanity, or and they want to expand one or the other. What are the options that people can do if they run into those kind of tight spots?
Yeah, by code, you have to have certain clearances from your toilet to the next vanity and things like that. So that's why we have Jessica on staff full time, because she is an expert at not only designing a beautiful interior, but also the floor plan design, rearranging things.
Yeah.
If you're going to end up trying to flip the layout of a bathroom, you really want an expert that understands floor plans, that's going to get the exact measurements before you go in there and just start remodeling things. Because then you could end up with a toilet too close to the vanity, toilet too close to the tub. There's a lot of different issues as far as space planning that you can run into.
Does that run into permitting? Do you have to get a permit to do this kind of stuff?
It depends what type of work you're doing. So if you're moving any plumbing or electrical, or if you're moving a load-bearing wall, then yes, you definitely have to get a permit. However, we do run into some projects where it's just a simple rip and replace. So you really want to call a licensed and certified contractor to get their opinion of, hey, do I need a permit on this? Because if you do not pull a permit, you could run into some issues if you were supposed to.
All right, another question that occurred to me, Justin, people want to upgrade their home, of course. This is a popular time of year, or popular time to do that. Mm-hmm. What about adding a bathroom? So you didn't have the bathroom, now you're adding a whole new bathroom, new plumbing, new water. How does that impact the rest of your home?
Now, are you talking about an addition on the exterior of your home?
Not necessarily, just an additional bathroom. I guess it could be on the exterior, but I thought of it as just, hey, we got another kid, we want to expand, we want to put another bathroom in the house.
Great question. So as far as adding on to the exterior of the home, that can get even more expensive because then you're doing a lot of exterior work, right? It also takes more time. So we actually don't do exterior. It turns out to be more of a headache than anything. However, we do add on for interior. So let's say you have a small, maybe a half bath or just a small bathroom, and you want to take it in and make it a larger master bathroom or something like that. We do a lot of that. So really that's just opening up the wall. There is going to be moving some plumbing and electrical. So that's certainly going back to your permit question, certainly something that you're going to want to permit if you are doing a project of that magnitude. Make sure everything's plumbed and into code with your electrical as well.
When you come to Jessica with these ideas, I imagine she gives you some kind of an outlook, a computer printout or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a floor plan design as well as a 3D rendering when we're doing a project of that magnitude. Yep.
Okay, so you're going to get a real feel for what it looks like before you get into it.
Exactly.
Now, what are your lead times? Everyone comes on the show. We got about a minute left. Everyone's so worried about not being able to get to their project. It takes a year before we can start.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we are very tapped into the Cuban American labor market. So we have about 50, 60 guys on our crews that we're rolling from one project to the next. So as far as lead times, we can get to your project as soon as all the materials are here and ready. And that's why it's also great that we have our great relationships with suppliers.
Absolutely.
We're able to get your materials quickly. So what it looks like is we come out for a free in-home estimate. We can get out there within a couple of days. We'll get you an estimate, come up with a project plan, then we launch in the design phase. So the design phase can take anywhere from 1 week to 2 months, depending on how complex your project is. Typically, the sweet spot is about 3 to 4 weeks to come up with a finalized design that you love, pick out all your materials, purchase them, get them shipped, and then we're going ahead and we're going to do a pre-renovation walkthrough. Essentially, that's a handover to where we're bringing our project manager in, reviewing all the projects, making sure the scope of work is exactly what you want, making sure all the materials are there, answering any last-minute questions that you have, and then we're going ahead and starting.
Awesome. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, where else, Justin? Anywhere on the West Coast?
Nope, just Hillsborough and Pinellas.
Hillsborough and Pinellas. Justin Caballero, Revive Kitchen and Bath. That's where you want to go to get your kitchen and bath updated. Coming up on the show, we have Alex Lima from Blackbelt Fitness. He's right here in our Salem Media Group studios. And, of course, our feel-good story about 11-year-old Wyatt Deaton swimming open water right here in Tampa Bay. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group. and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
I forgot to ask Jose. Jose, Alex is in the chair. How does he sound?
Alex, can you give me a count from 5 to 0, please?
Yeah, buddy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Sounds good to me, James, as long as he stays in front of the mic.
Yeah,
I'll be right here.
Yeah, he looks good. It's about where he needs to be.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
That's right. Give Brandon a call. You can meet, or rather, you can ask him about some of the properties you see pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And you can check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can meet our expert contributors and some of our sponsors, like Replenish IB Solutions. Everybody's worried about their immune system these days. Replenish IV Solutions has a unique idea. They're going to come directly to your home or business if you can't make it to one of their locations. They're going to give you a vitamin and mineral infused IV to make sure you're working at optimum level. So get your body right and let Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show, help you out. Get in touch with Steve and Lisa Gunnan, again, longtime friends of the show, and they do a great job over there at Replenish IV Solutions. Great sponsor for us. And we're going to look at some properties because Brandon owns the Platinum MVP team. He's a Keller Williams agent. Even in this time of real estate scarcity in the Bay Area, we still have some opportunities for you. What do you got for me, Jonathan? Let's take a look. So if you want to get in touch or see some of these properties, go to the site and check them out. 14626 Lower Dawn Drive in Seminole. This is a 2-3, about 1,330 square feet, double master layout with a waterfront dock, access to the Gulf, 5 minutes from Indian Shores and Indian Rocks Beach, great views of the Intercoastal Waterway from up top. HOA covers a heated pool, tennis court, landscaping, water, and trash. So really beautiful property in Seminole. Get in touch with Brandon, 14626 in Seminole. Here's one in Port Richey. 4823 Ebb Tide Lane. This is 1,000 square feet, 1 bedroom, 2 bath, your own penthouse suite. Spectacular 270-degree views of the Cody River and the Gulf of Mexico. New flooring, fresh paint, lots of parking, and you got an elevator as well as a pool. So a great opportunity for you in Port Richey. 4823 Ebb Tide Lane. Again, Brandon says, don't leave money on the table. Get in touch with the Platinum MVP team and get started finding your dream home. All right, we met with Justin Caballero from Revive Kitchen and Bath on the first half of the show. He had some great ideas for renovation. You know, everybody wants the kitchen and bath to redo. Get in touch with him for any ideas to check out any ideas of his for your kitchen or bath. This segment we're visiting right here in our Salem Media Group studios with Alex Lima from Blackbelt Fitness. What's going on, Alex?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Curious, I'm always checking. I want to know what you're up to in terms of any fights coming up or any training or what's going on in terms of you and your business.
A lot of things, actually. So, when COVID, prior to COVID, the pandemic occurring, I had a warehouse spot and things were kind of going in a different direction. And then when all the gyms, started shutting down and issues occurred, throughout the world, obviously, the business model kind of had to shift a little bit. So then I tried, I did some online training, which I still do, and then started doing mobile training, and then just ventured and branched out into all these different avenues of being able to keep this, this passion alive and going. And it's like, it seems to be like steamrolling now, which is pretty awesome.
It seems like all ages, men, women. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have I just did a training session on Monday night, and, there was a mix in there of like, I don't want to say like soccer moms, but like,
right.
Your average, like,
sure.
Soccer mom, women between like the, late 20s, 30s to like going into the 50s. I had one woman in the class actually that I want to say she was like 60 something years old, and she was in there boxing.
And so their motivation could be fitness, could be self-defense, could be they just want to compete with one of their kids or family members, something like that.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to specifically women, we were talking about this a little earlier before the segment started. It's an empowering thing.
Yeah.
To learn how to hit and hit a bag, like, it's a very empowering. It's empowering for men as well. I mean,
sure.
Let's not lie. It's to learn how to dominate another human being is an incredible power to have.
I imagine lots of confidence gained by the kids. So kids comes into he's not really confident, or yet he doesn't know what he's doing, and you can see him kind of grow that way.
So their confidence for sure. Like, I have kids that I'm working with now that they're experiencing a little bit of like bullying within the schools. Unfortunately, right. That's something that is a reality. Sure. But the flip side of that, I also have athletes that like to cross train. Like I have a baseball standout right now that's doing some private lessons. that he wants to do some boxing work on footwork that's going to transition over to hand-eye coordination for baseball and knocking him out the park.
I think that's become more accepted widely in the world of sports, that the idea of focusing exclusively on what you do may not be the best approach. The idea of being rounded and understanding sometimes your body needs a break. The idea of muscle confusion, P90X came in and everyone's like, whoa, what is this? Well, you confuse yourself a little bit and you get some growth out of that.
Sure. If you're an athlete, I mean, your primary focus should be your sport. But let's be honest. I mean, there were some days that you don't want to get up and play football. You want to do something else, but you got to keep putting in work. So why not mix it up and do something else that will benefit you later in football?
Refresh yourself mentally a little bit, new approach.
Stay fresh, man. Mental confusion. So muscle confusion and mental confusion.
So even in your world, you probably vary the workouts a little bit for some of the folks?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a mixed martial artist. So, I mean, that's how I approach everything. Part of it comes, I guess, from my ADD. I have ADD, so I cannot focus on one thing for too long. So I need to mix it up. If you try to make me do one task for too long, I will just go crazy. I can't do it. So I need to have some time where I come in and work boxing, some strength and conditioning, some kicking, some wrestling. I have to do it all, or it'll drive me nuts, to be honest with you.
And which discipline do you think has produced the most MMA champions? Wrestling, boxing? I mean, where do they come from?
It depends on the era that we're speaking of. If you're talking about the very beginning of when the UFC and MMA, became mainstream, then jiu-jitsu was dominant because nobody knew how to fight on the ground. So you take anybody down on the ground.
Gracie? You're talking about Gracie?
Yeah, Hoist Gracie when he came in and was dominant. That now I'd say the tide has kind of shifted towards the key is wrestling. And I've said this for years. The better wrestler in any exchange is going to dictate where the battle takes place. So if you're a better striker than me and I'm better on the ground, my wrestling has to be good enough to get you down to my world. If you don't want to go to the ground, your wrestling has to be better than mine to keep the fight standing up so you can knock me out or, impose your will. So the wrestler will always dictate where the fight takes place. But then after that, it's what you do with it.
Right. And I imagine coming from a wrestling background I had versus the wrestling I see or the groundwork I see in the MMA, you've got to be aware of the chokes and submissions on the ground. And that's something I didn't deal with, in typical wrestling.
Sure. Yeah. So wrestling would be as far as, again, dictating where the fight takes place. Then what you do with it would be based on, are you a striker and you want to get on top and you want to start hitting, or do you want to get to a position, superior position to be able to get a choke or some sort of joint lock?
Do you think you can add punching power to someone, or that's something they naturally have to have heavy hands?
No, 1,000%. You can improve on every facet of your athletic ability. Now, you may not reach an astronomical level, but you can always improve upon where you currently are.
Even your chin, Alex?
So there's different schools of thought on that. I believe that your chin can only take so many shots over time.
Right.
You can do certain things. If anything, it's not about building up your chin. It would be building up your neck strength, because your neck is your shock absorber. If you got a weak baby neck and I hit you as hard as I can, you're going to whiplash.
Right.
But if you have a strong neck where you can absorb a little bit of shock, you're going to last longer in a fight.
That's a similar concept with football as well. You can reduce your risk to concussion with neck strength.
100%. It's your shock absorber.
Yeah.
For shots to the head, anything attacks to the head.
All right. So here in the state of Florida, how popular is it? It seems like it's very popular in our state.
It's mixed martial arts, just combat sports in general. We've always had a long-standing history. I mean, we have a lot of fighters come out of Miami. We had a boxer that was really good for, I would say, around 2012, a Gamboa. He was nasty in the boxing industry. We have Yoel Romero. He was a Cuban wrestling champion, and then now he became an MMA superstar.
So when I became familiar with Kimbo Slice, what was that?
He was out of Miami as well.
Right.
So that was that backyard brawling and fighting, which is kind of it's a kind of a niche market.
Right.
But and the reason he was so successful in it was because he legitimately had some boxing training, and that goes back to if you have even just a little bit of training, you will be able to handle most any common person that comes your way thinking that they know how to fight.
I love the idea that you can not look the part and Gracie. I mean.
Yeah.
You'd think, well, there's no chance. Kimbo Slice would kill him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even last 30 seconds.
Yeah, back in the day, for sure, in his prime, absolutely.
And Kimbo Slice turned out, faded out real quick, but it was the internet and the ability to use social media. We talked about Jake Paul before, how if you can build a following, you can kind of get eyes on you, whether or not your skills are commensurate or not.
Yeah, so he did the right thing. So Kimbo actually passed away not too long ago, but at the time, he did something with it. He already knew he had power in his hands. He was ferocious. And there's something that can't be taught, and that's the mentality of a fighter.
Right,
that's different. I can give you skills, but I can't
Oh, yeah.
turn you in the heart, have the spirit of a fighter. That's something you have it or you don't, to be honest. But you can have enough fight in you to defend yourself. But we're talking about on the competitive level.
Right.
But Kimbo had it, and he was smart. I don't know if you watch if you go on a YouTube journey of his fights, you'll get to where he finally faced his first opponent that had some MMA training, and he gets choked out in that fight.
Yeah, I remember.
He immediately went after that and was like, I'm going to learn. And he started studying a little bit of submissions and adding more to his game, and he became even more dangerous.
Well, like I said with Gracie, I love the idea of seeing a guy who's 270 pounds and completely ripped out of his mind just getting immediately submitted.
Yeah, so that was completely done intentionally. The first UFC was actually put on, one of the people that put it on was Royce's brother, the older brother, I believe it was Horian.
So he paired him against somebody.
Well, they made a point because there was a bigger, badder brother, Hickson Gracie. He was he's still to this day, he's a legend, right? But they're like, we want to make a point. We're going to kind of pick the quote-unquote runt of the litter, and we're going to have him run him through all these guys.
Yeah.
It was a business card for jiu-jitsu and the Gracies, and it worked out very well, obviously.
It was very cool. And in the beginning, I remember having to go to Blockbuster. I mean, it was a crazy niche kind of a cult thing going on.
Yeah, it was totally underground. It was banned in so many states. I think the last state to actually finally legalize it was New York.
So everyone else still, I mean, we still have Dana and his guys, but there's more competition for him now than there ever was, right?
There's more. There's other markets and industries. And, the UFC has always been the most well-known brand, but there are some other fantastic organizations with lots of talent out there.
What did you think about that TV show? What was it? What was it called? The Fighter? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to do that to you. There was a television show about MMA. They had the guys live in the same house together.
The UFC, The Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. So I've trained with and I've been friends with a couple of guys that were actually on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the idea that I'm sure that had a big effect on the popularity of the sport, but it seems like social media has given these guys an avenue to promote themselves in a way. Like I thought Jake Paul was a joke kind of a thing when I first saw it.
Well, so I mean, the kid is an athlete, obviously, and he has a work ethic, but I wouldn't say he's a very highly skilled boxer. But he has so much money that he can afford to, hey, I'm going to pay this boxing trainer to live with me for 8 months, and we'll just box every day. You're going to get good. If I work with you every day for 8 months, you're going to get good.
Now, what did I hear? Tyson or Floyd or somebody he wants that they're trying another PPV. Every time Floyd's involved, I think it's a scam.
It is. He's just trying to stay relevant. They've even it came out in the open that one of his last fights that he had a clause in the contract that his opponent couldn't knock him out. So these are kind of like glorified sparring matches. I mean, they're hitting hard. Don't get me wrong. You're going to get knocked out if you just stand there. But they're kind of like glorified exhibition matches. Mm-hmm. And there's these little clauses. It's all to make money, man.
Right.
Yeah. Anywhere where there's a lot of money and attention, there's corruption.
Well, I think if you ask a legit fighter out there, you want to win because you want to win. It's in your blood. It's in your heart. You want to win. Or a couple $1 million and you lay down or don't fight that hard. Some people just can't stomach the idea of not winning. How could I let this kid?
Yeah, there's some people that won't take a dive, but then at the same time, I mean, if you've been, a starving fighter for a long time and you finally have, I mean, that's a hard decision to make at that time.
It absolutely is. All right, Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness, Blackbelt_fitness. If you want to check him out, he's got tons of social media presence. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Alex. Of course, I've got this story about the 11-year-old who's going to open water swim in Tampa Bay to fight cancer. We're going to tell you all about Wyatt Deaton and his incredible story. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, consumerqb.com, or our real estate website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is a great resource for you. It's a way you can check out our sponsorship and meet our expert contributors, as well as check out some of the properties you hear pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show. The sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving. You know, whether you're going local or long distance, these guys are the moving company for you. They are the official moving sponsor of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They moved Brandon into his new house. These guys worked well after dark and became the official sponsor that night. So lots of 5-star reviews. Check them out, local or long distance. Brothers Easy Moving is the moving company for you. And of course, Brandon owns the Platinum MVP team. We pitch properties all the time on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got another one to look at right now. Jonathan's going to throw it up on the screen. This is something you can get in touch with Brandon about anytime you need an opportunity. We want to get you out of renting. Here's something in Tampa. We've got a mixed-use building, about a half an acre on a corner lot, centrally located in South Tampa. Great opportunity for a contractor or other business. 4220 West Pearl Avenue. Again, about 12,000 square feet, giving you an opportunity for commercial. So maybe you're a contractor, maybe you've got another idea for that property, but it's right on the corner, so lots of exposure. Check it out. We've got a commercial opportunity for you there. Don't leave money on the table again, whether it's land, residential, or commercial. Get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. All right, one thing about the Consumer Quarterback Show we do every show is the feel-good story. Got a great one for you today. Local kid, Wyatt Deaton, he's 11 years old. His mom, stricken with cancer, he decides he's going to do something about it. So Wyatt Deaton's 11. He takes swimming pretty seriously. He's been doing it since he was 2 years old. He intends on using his swimming skills to help fight cancer now. He says, I just like it because it's an after-school hobby. Swimming was a hobby he practices about 3 or 4 times a week. His goal isn't to win a medal or a swim meet. He practices for someone much more important. He swims for his mother. See, my mom has cancer, he says, plus some of her friends had cancer as well. On May 7th, Wyatt will be one of the youngest swimmers to take part in Swim Across America. His goal is to fight cancer. With every mile each participant swims in the bay, right here in Tampa Bay, they raise money for continued cancer research. And this isn't Wyatt's first time that he's taken this swim. He's raised thousands of dollars already from previous swims, and his mom couldn't be more proud. She said when she was diagnosed with cancer, we learned about Swim Across America. I told him it's a swimming event and the opportunity to give back, and he was all over it, she said. When they asked Wyatt, he's so excited about swimming, even though it's 2 miles out in the open bay. He said, yeah, but I'm also terrified that a shark will come up and bite my leg off. But he's still going to do it. 11-year-old Wyatt Deaton, don't miss a chance to help fight cancer, and he's going to do that. What you need to know is that they raise money for cancer research throughout the country doing this. It's called Swim Across America. See if you can get involved if you're a swimmer out there. Alex, you ever swim for fitness or know any swimmers?
So I do. Well, I mean, I'm Cuban. We're great in the water. We row our boat over here. Right? No, but actually, when I had a pretty good injury a couple years back where I tore something in my knee and I couldn't do like all my jumping around. I couldn't do anything. And swimming is what saved me and kept me in shape. I stayed in a pool, swim in water, and I love it. It's great.
When I was on staff over at USF, we got the new athletic facility finished, and one of the things that, I was working in the video department at the time doing scouting, and I thought, well, we need more equipment, more stuff. I went down to the training room, and they had this underwater treadmill. I said, come on, you guys are wasting so much money on this. Man, I tell you, for rehab, that was critical. We had guys coming from the Bucks, all different sports athletes coming to use the thing. It really made a big difference in terms of getting your weight off that foot.
Well, it's low impact on your joints, and then also it's kind of like you're training in a gravity room. Like it's making everything harder. I mean, it's full body workout. It's
the resistance of water. Yeah, it's something you can do. I've seen some boxing stuff also done in water.
I've done it. I used to, when I was even as a little kid, I used to get in a pool up to like neck height, and I used to punch and kick like all this. I don't know, maybe that's why I can kick as hard as I can now. But,
Well, one of the stories, I'm not going to let you get out of here without the shin thing, because this is the most incredible part of it. I know no one cares. I always bring this up because I'm amazed by this. But you actually can increase is it the bone density or the nerve tolerance by working on your shins, because you're going to be kicking in MMA. And if you think you're just going to walk up and kick somebody for the first time and it's not going to hurt your leg, it's going to really, if you've ever been hit on the face of the shin, It'll knock you right down.
So when the segment's over, I'll actually show you a picture of a friend of mine that was holding pads for me for the first time. And then through the pads, he sent me a message 2 days later, and he's like, dude, look at my forearms. It's totally bruised up.
And your strike point is your shin?
The blade of the shin specifically.
The blade of the shin.
You have to think of your shin bone, right, as a sword. I want to hit you with the blade, not the flat part.
Oh my gosh.
If I hit you with the flat part, there's a chance it's like if it's a ruler, how are you going to break a ruler?
What you're saying. Like
Snap.
a 2x4 on it.
Correct, on the side. But if you turn it here, it's as solid as it can be, and that's what I want to make impact with.
Wow. So tell me, you didn't start out with nerve. I mean, you have nerves in your shin.
You do have nerves in your shin. You do little things growing up. We trained a little harder in the 80s and 90s, you know, and so we used to, you know, like I said, I used to train with some guys that they were like real like into kickboxing. We'd go down to the causeway and they would kick the parking meters, you know. I never personally kicked the parking meters. I always thought that was a little dumb.
Right.
But I have in the past taken sticks and glass Coke bottles and banged on my shins.
And the whole idea was you're building tolerance.
You're killing the nerve endings so that you're more desensitized when you do make impact. And you're you know, every time you do that, you're creating little micro fractures on the shin bone. And then as it heals and it calcifies, you're building kind of like a armor over your shin bones.
So similar concept to muscle development, really. You're going to tear your muscles, you're going to regrow.
It's the same.
That recovery period is going to make you stronger.
You're building up your armor. And when you do fitness and martial arts, you have to have some serious armor on your body.
Wow. Now, I know you're a first responder as well. I mean, you've done all kinds of things, charitable. You know, Alex is all over the place out there. You can find him on social media. And what else is going on outside of your dojo there?
Yeah, so, you know, not too long ago, I got the licensure, and I'm starting to teach self-defense in, like, hospitals and EMS systems.
Okay.
I'm going down, and I'm preparing the employees how to take on, like, you know, active shooters and
Well, you don't think of the emergency room, but as a hostile place, but I imagine it's crazy, huh? I didn't realize. So you get people under all kinds of influence of different chemicals that come in through there.
In the street, in an ambulance, in an emergency room, I have jujitsu'd so many people.
Oh my gosh! So it's a combination of they're
within
crazed,
control,
right?
Obviously,
they're in pain, so their behavior's already going to be erratic and wild.
Yeah, I mean, you get somebody on PCP that thinks that, you know, you're the devil. They're going to come at you like you're the devil, you know.
So our nurses and doctors are tasked with controlling those folks in the ER.
I mean, you have security, but right now you call 911. Well, there's something starts happening and we get in a fight in here right now for whatever reason. You call 911, there's a delay right before they get here.
Sure.
You're always your first responder.
Gotcha.
So even if you call security, but security's on the third floor because he was doing his walk around, it's going to take a while to take that elevator, get down, you know.
Boy, I like that one. You're always your first responder. Think about that. You know, that's wild. So how have they taken to the training, the medical staff and personnel?
Good. So it's implemented in a lot of hospitals already. But what we're bringing is a more some people do it just to have the certification. You know, we're bringing stuff that actually works. Like you're learning from a champion of like how to fight people off and control them. So it's different vibe, you know.
So your background as a paramedic and fighting, I can't believe there's crossover. That's crazy.
Well, you got to think of it's perfect. I mean, who would understand the anatomy, fixing and breaking it better than you know, somebody that studied the anatomy in both facets. You know?
All right, so Blackbelt_fitness. What do folks find out there? Is that where they can find out how to get in touch with you if they want to schedule a workout?
Absolutely. You can look up Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts Club on, you know, Google or any search engine that you utilize, and then Black Belt Fitness. That's my social media handle. You'll find all kinds of videos and cool stuff, and you can also catch me now over at Title Boxing here in Tampa.
Okay. When are you over there?
So I'm actually teaching tomorrow night, but I'm going to be taking over Mondays and Fridays teaching striking and MMA over there, and we're working on getting some more things over there. We've included now there's a Muay Thai program, kickboxing, MMA, so it's going to get pretty serious over there.
All ages, men and women?
All ages, adults and children, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, what about the state of Florida? Is there anyone up-and-coming fighters that we want to keep an eye on, or anyone you've seen that you think is going to make an impact in the sport?
I mean, there's a lot. There's me personally, I work with my main jiu-jitsu coach that I still train with. I'm here is Dan Martinez, and he's an absolute just animal, man, on the mat. He's great, and he's actually preparing to compete in the Abu Dhabi trials. The trials, Abu Dhabi.
Weight?
I believe he's going to be competing at. It depends. He's in between weights right now, so I don't know if he's going to go 200 plus or try to go under.
Okay.
But
it's an open Abu Dhabi.
No. It's invitation only.
Oh, okay.
It's invitation only.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the actual event is held every 2 years, and you have to be invited, and then you have to run through your bracket, and then you make it to the final, the elimination rounds. And basically, since there's no Olympics for submission wrestling, this is the Olympics. If you win this, you're the man.
Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness, Blackbelt_fitness. Alex, last thing, anything you want to add before I turn it out? You close the show here.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I like that.
Pressure makes diamonds. So
yeah, we use that in football.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Thanks so much for coming in, Alex Lima. We talked to Justin Caballero. Revive Kitchen and Bath was on the first half of the show. He did a great job. We learned about Wyatt Deaton, an 11-year-old, going to swim in the open water right here in Tampa Bay. I want to thank Brandon for giving me the chance to host. This is the Consumer Quarterback.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.